People always ask, ano ba sir yung pagkakaiba? Readiness compared to preparedness. Now, I'm here to tell you guys that there is a huge difference between the two. Palagi kong sinasabi, I am not necessarily a prepper in the literal sense of the word. Kasi prepping has been a relatively new concept and it's something that came about in the early 2000s. Prepping along with the term EDC and all those other concepts. Basically, yung mga ginagawa ng mga prepper these days, wala naman yung pinag-iba sa ginagawa ng mga survivalists back in the late 70s and 80s and maybe even a lot earlier than that. For people who don't know, the survivalist concept came about during the Cold War. So ito yung panahon na meron pang girian between the superpowers and there was always the threat of a nuclear apocalypse. Kaya nga sinasabing doomsday, yun yung scenario before, and the early survivalists began preparations for bug-out shelters, air raid bunkers, or bomb shelters, mga ganyan. So, dun basically nagumpisa yung konsepto ng prepping. It came about from the survivalist or from the concept of survivalism. So, yan yung roots ng prepping. But nowadays, medyo nagbabago na naman yung konsepto ng prepping in the sense na there are new threats, and since the late 1980s, nung nawala na yung Cold War, medyo nagbago yung mga parameters or things that people are preparing for. But basically, the concept is still within the survivalists realm. So, andun pa rin yung pagiging survivalist ng mga tao, because at the end of the day, what is survivalism? It's basically or simply the preservation of life. Ganun lang kasimple yun. And when we say the preservation of life, that's being ready for natural disasters or even man-made catastrophes like war or a nuclear winter or stuff like that. Medyo in the late 2000s na lang, or specifically 2020, nung dumating yung bagong threat, which is what I call the pestiscerie. Kasi nga, eto na naman yung, or the popular belief is that may nangyari nung 2020, but it goes a little bit deeper than what people know. Kasi nga, wala nga sa kanila yung konsepto ng readiness. Ang alam lang nila ay preparedness lang. So, in definition or by definition, ang ginagawa lang ng mga tao is getting the tools and equipment to prepare the tools and equipment for possible scenarios. But in reality kasi, over the years, ang nangyari na lang dito is people are prepping, or the concept of prepping for people is getting all the equipment, getting their bug out locations ready, getting their stockpiles ready, whatever it is, whether it's food, medicines, weapons and ammunition, and stuff like that. So, para sa kanila, naging mababaw na lang yung konsepto. Kumbaga, kung meron ka nung gamit, ikaw ay magsusurvive. Or so they think. So, dun na ngayon medyo lumilihis yung konsepto ng readiness, which is what I am professing. But readiness is how do you put it? It's a more esoteric concept that only a select few will ever get. Medyo mahirap magets yung konsepto ng readiness. But let's try to simplify it in terms of, halimbawa, pag sinabing, do you have a knife on you? So, syempre, somebody who's prepared will have the knife in the pocket, closed. Pero someone who's ready will have the knife open already in his hand, deployed. So, malaking difference, di ba? Iba yung nasa bulsa mo yung knife at iba rin yung hawak mo na sa kamay mo at naka-open na. Kaya nga, ready to use eh. Kaya nga meron yung meals ready to eat kasi hindi mo na kailangan lutuin, 'di ba? Yun din yung isang pagkakaiba. If you say you're preparing a meal, so na-chop na yung onions, yung bawang, na-chop na yung karne or yung isda, nakahanda na yung gulay, pero hindi pa siya luto. Samantalang ang ready to eat, kakainin mo na lang, isusubo mo na lang. Yun din yung isang pagkakaiba ng prepared and ready. So, clearly, magkaibang concept yung dalawang yun. So, why now am I even talking about this in the first place? Kasi nga, palaging may questions whenever I do my talks, whenever I share my ideas with people, palagi ako natatanong, Sir, bakit nyo sinasabing readiness imbes na preparedness or imbes na prepping, palagi nyo sinasabing readiness? Because magkaiba nga yung konsepto eh. Being ready does not only entail that you have the equipment, because let's face it, mahal mag-prep. Malaki ang financial cost ng prepping. Can you imagine, yun lang maghanda ka ng simpleng bag-out bag na quality yung components. Medyo mahal yan. Magpakatotoo na tayo. Hindi yan isang bagay na pwedeng cheapy lang. Of course, you can get stuff from the hardware store or sa palengke or wherever. You can have economical alternatives to what are the branded components in a bug-out bag. But those things will only last you that long. Like, for example, instead of getting a US-made knife, pwede ka naman bumili ng local. So, what's the difference, diba? Siyempre, malaking difference yung presyo. But at the end of the day, pare-pareho lang lahat niyan. So, my point is, preppers are so focused on the stockpiling aspect. They're so focused on the material aspect of prepping. Kasi nga, sino ba naman ang mga makaka-afford ng prepping kung hindi yung mga taong nakatira rin lang sa gated communities or nakatira sa mga high-rise communities? Madaling sabi, ang makaka-afford lang ng prepping yung mga manyanyaman. Magpakatotoo na tayo. Even the simple act of stockpiling food entails a budget. So, medyo kakailangan ninyo ng malaki-laking budget to stockpile. Kahit na sabihin na natin pagkain lang. And then, meron yung mga YouTubers na content creator daw, pero wala namang ginawa kundi magpakita ng koleksyon niya ng baril, bagong holster, bagong bag, yung gago bag. That's not prepping. That's not being a prepper. In fact, being a prepper entails a lot of survival skills. So, a prepper has to be well-rounded. Kailangan marunong siya ng survival skills, kailangan marunong siya ng medical, kailangan marunong siya ng escape and evasion. Masyadong varied yung skill sets, or a prepper, to deserve the name, has to have a wide variety of knowledge and skill sets. Hindi lang yung basta baril dito, baril doon. Wala nang ginawa kundi magpakita ng baril. Hindi naman magaganda yung pinapakita ng baril, di ba? Hindi lang baril ang prepping. It entails a lot of things. And when we talk about the difference between prepping and readiness isn't just about prepping. Hindi yan yung stockpiling. Hindi yan yung pag-acquire ng weapons and other tools. It's pretty much a mindset, or it even goes beyond the mindset. It's a consciousness na hindi ka basta-basta maloloko. Yun yung isang importanteng trait ng readiness practitioner. Hindi siya basta-basta naloloko. For example, people nowadays are so reliant on their smartphones for information when in fact, uso na ngayon ng fake news, and therefore, hindi lahat ng news na kinokonsume ng tao ay totoo. And this has already proven itself in, 5 years ago, nung nangyari yung pestehan. Much of the real news was being suppressed, samantalang much of the fake news was being branded as real. And people were not ready for that. So, kumagat lang sila ng kumagat. And that's one example of the consciousness part. Why is this important? Kasi at the end of the day, there are forces who are trying to win your mind over. Yun yung isang importanteng matutunan natin. With the advent of high technology, ang tao, wala nang ginawa kundi pati ang survival skills nila nakarely sa cellphone nila, di ba? May app for survival or a compass app or whatever the fuck the app is, di ba? Yun na lang ang alam ng tao, hindi na nila alam yung basic bushcraft, ultimo magpasiga ng kahoy ng maayos na hindi ka masusunog, hindi na nila alam yung mga bagay-bagay na ganon. So, it's really important to have that consciousness of self-preservation or the ability to question everything. And I mean everything. Lahat ng issue, lahat ng balita, lahat ng bagay na nangyayari, you learn to question that. And that's basically the first and maybe the most important trait of a readiness practitioner. Yun ang pagkakaiba natin dun sa mga prepper lang. And I mean lang kasi hindi lang basta nag-iimbak ka ng pagkain, nag-iimbak ka ng tubig. Of course you need that. I'm not saying you don't need that. You need that. Okay? Kailangan natin yun. But the point is, it doesn't end sa pag-stockpile lang. It doesn't end sa pag-acquire ng tools. What if wala kang pambili ng tools? Wala kang pambili ng gamit? Paano na lang, di ba? Does that mean na hindi ka magsusurvive? Hindi rin. Kasi nga, as 2020 proved, mas nakasurvive yung mga taong nasa, less than ideal or nasa urban poor areas. Samantalang, lahat ng mga tinakbo namin sa ospital galing sa mga alta de sociedad. Sorry, pero yun naman ang totoo. Sino ba naman na makaka-afford ng ambulance service that time, which was really so expensive? And sino ba makaka-afford ng medical services during that time? Kasi nga napakamahal. Kundi yung mga may kaya, di ba? Aminin na natin, magpakatotoo na lang tayo. Yun naman ang totoo. So, what I'm saying is, if you have the proper consciousness, at hindi ka magpapaloko sa kung kani-kanino o sa kung ano-ano, that's your foundation for being a readiness practitioner. It's not just the gear, it's not just the stockpiling, it's not that. Hindi yun ang readiness. And natatawa na lang ako dahil may mga tao na within this preparedness community na ginagamit na nila yung salitang readiness without understanding what readiness is all about. And I find it both funny but at the same time insulting to people like myself who are genuine readiness practitioners. And that brings me to another point. Naging popular ang prepping, or I can't even say it's popular. It's because sino lang ba ang mga nagpe-prep? Babalik na naman tayo. Ang mga nagpe-prep lang ay ang mga taong may kaya. But ordinary people who cannot afford it will not be able to make the necessary preparations, di ba? Hindi sila makakapag-stockpile ng pagkain or tubig or gamot. Hindi nila magagawa yun simply because they don't have the budget. And in reality, napakaliit na lang, I would say, or I would safely say na hindi ganun kalaki ang prepping community because by nature, ang Pilipino hindi or wala sa kultura ng Pilipino ang pagiging prepper. Because we're so used to the tingi-tingi or the sari-sari store mentality. Bakit ako mag-iimbak? May tindahan naman sa tapat. Or may mini grocery naman sa kabilang kanto. If I needed something, bibiling ko na lang sa tindahan. But I cannot, due to budget constraints, store more than I actually can consume. So, ganun yung usual mindset ng Pilipino. Yun yung typical mindset ng Pilipino, which hindi naman din natin mababago basta-basta. Of course, everybody needs to prep. Everybody needs to be prepared. But again, it's not within our culture. Yun ang isang bagay na hindi natin nakasanayan, and therefore mahirap siyang gawin sa totoo lang. For another, let's simplify things. Yung EDC concept, again, not very many Filipinos practice the EDC lifestyle. Hindi yan basta-basta bibili or hindi yan basta-basta magdadala ng, let's say, a pocket knife, a Swiss Army knife, or whatever. Hindi. Like, in my experience nung isang lecture namin sa isang college sa Bukawi, Bulacan, mas handa pa yung mga babae kesa yung mga lalaki. Sa totoo lang. Mabuti pa yung mga babae nung tinignan ko yung mga handbag nila. Meron silang tubig, may Skyflakes, may pamunas, may extra damit, panty liner, and stuff like that. Women are more likely to prepare things. Samantalang yung mga lalaki, anong laman ng bulsa ng lalaki? Panyo tsaka smartphone. So sabi ko sa kanila, at least at the end of the world, maganda ang selfie ninyo dahil napunasan nyo yung mga mukha ninyo. And that's about it. Diba? Yun naman yung totoo. Wala tayong magagawa doon. Ganon ang lalaki. I mean, ang average na lalaki these days, ganon na lang. Or ganon ang kultura nila ngayon. So, what's the point? Diba? Kaya nga yung mga EDC practitioner these days, kumbaga sila na lang din ang nakakaintindi. I mean, when I was starting out as an EDC practitioner back in the early 1980s, I did it. Personally, I did it because I wanted to be the guy who can solve things. Kaya nga, nangarap ako magkaroon ng Swiss Army knife nung araw kasi parang, uy, ang ganda ng Swiss Army knife. 'Di ba? Ang daming tools na pwedeng magamit and I can practically tackle any problem. Yun ang tingin ko sa Swiss Army knife. Yun din ang tingin ko sa sarili ko up to this day. And I've proven myself time and again na I'll be the kind of person who will know what to do in a given situation. And for me, that's what the EDC lifestyle is for me. Knowing what to do and having the tools to do it with. Pero what does popular culture tell us? Or the popular YouTube channels will only show you the latest and greatest products available. So people who are into the EDC lifestyle, bili lang sila ng bili, di ba? Without even understanding why they EDC or why they practice the EDC lifestyle. Ang alam lang nila, uy, may bagong knife na naman. Uy, may bagong flashlight. Uy, may bagong wallet. Uy, may bagong pouch. Hanggang doon na lang ang EDC nila. So hanggang doon na lang ang konsepto nila ng EDC. And being an EDC practitioner myself, akala ko dati, pag may dala kang Swiss Army knife, pag may dala kang pocket knife, wow, pogi. Pogi ka sa mga girls. Unfortunately, girls don't care. Wala silang pake kung ang dala mong kutsilyo spider ko o dala mong kutsilyo balisong or something, a really cheap nail clipper or anything like that. They just don't care. Wala silang pake. And ironically, pag bumunot ka ng ganito at may katabi kang EDC practitioner na lalaki, sabi niya, wow, pare, cool. So, over the years, I realized na the only people who think you're cool because you're an EDC practitioner is your fellow dude, diba? Dude din. Lalaki din, diba? So, what's the point? Seriously, what's the point in the EDC lifestyle? If you're into it for the cool factor, if you're into it because of the cool factor of having a new knife again or not carrying the same knife twice in a week, 'di ba? Parang everyday meron kang bago, everyday meron kang ibang knife na nakasukbit sa pocket mo. What's the point of doing that when only the dudes, only the guys will drool over you? Pero yung mga girls don't care. So sabi ko, nawala yung pagkapogi ko sa mga chicks. Because girls really don't care. So, hindi na rin ako ganun ka enthusiastic about the EDC practice as I envisioned it when I was younger. So now, I EDC simply because I have I know who I am, I know what I am, and I know what I can do. Kaya ako nag-EDC. Unfortunately, not very many EDC practitioners are aware of that. Alam lang nila, cool, kaya lang, cool siya sa ibang lalaki, sa ibang guys, sa girls, wala silang pake. And speaking of not being cool, nabawasan na naman tayo na subscriber. -1 na naman tayo. From 835 as of last count, bumaba to 834. So, nabawasan na naman tayo ng subscriber. And, you know, I'm beginning to realize, or hindi, imagine, 13 years on YouTube, and all I have is like 800 plus subscribers, despite what I think is correct and useful information na mapapakinabangan ng lahat. The ugly truth of the matter is people really don't care, or people don't care about what I say. Mas papanoorin nila yung mga channels na meron dun dakdak lang ng dakdak about, you know, the latest issues in the firearms community, or the guns that he has, or the new products, or the new holster, the new knife, whatever. Yun ang papanoorin ng mga tao because, you know, YouTube is aspirational. Ibig sabihin, panonoorin mo yung mga programa na paglalawayan mo. 'Di ba? Because the average person who doesn't own firearms or who doesn't own fancy knives will watch channels na merong magagandang products. Yun naman ang totoo, 'di ba? And since I don't really feature any products, then wala naman akong magagawa, 'di ba? You see the same things over and over again, 'di ba? Kasi nga EDC, so I have these things on me every day. And people in general will gravitate towards channels that have all the fancy gear, or gusto nila yung candy store. So yun, doon pa yung candy store mentality nila. Gusto lang nila makita yung mga magagandang bagong products. Why? Because they cannot afford it. Hindi nila afford yun. Di ba? Hindi sila makakabili ng ganyan kagandang baril. Di ba? Yung mga Taran Tactical na Sand Viper, or whatever, the new gun ni John Wick, or ng Ballerina, or whatever. Yun ang panonoorin nila. Or they will watch a person who will brandish his entire gun collection. Mas gusto nila yung mga ganon. And it's the same reason why people attend gun shows. Simply because sa totoong buhay, hindi naman nila mahihimas yung mga ganong kagagandang baril. Pero sa gun show, hanggang himas-himas na lang sila. May bibili ba? Wala naman din. Di ba? And legitimate firearms owners, yung mga owners na wala na sila nakikitang bago. Di ba? Or hindi nakakayanin ng L-top nila na bumili pa ng isa pang baril or ng bagong baril. And that's the reality of things, 'di ba? Hanggang tingin na lang tayo, hanggang paglalaway na lang tayo. And yun yung attitude ng mga tao. So, anyway, that's the reality of life. That's the reality of YouTube and the ugly truth about this particular channel, why we're not so popular. And I've come to live with that. So, tanggap ko na rin yun. But it doesn't mean na ginaganahan pa ako to make any more videos, simply because, diba, gawa ka ng gawa. You're trying to put out correct and useful information, but, you know, people just don't give a fuck. So, minsan nakakatamad na rin talaga, sa totoo lang. And as of this recording, naka-upload na, and naka-schedule na yung aking series finale. So, this is just a reality check. Mostly for me. Ganun talaga ang buhay eh. Wala naman tayong magagawa. So, anyway, that's been the long and the short of it. This has been Ab Sabando for Manila Sentinel Raw. Magpakatotoo na kayo.
Runway 3000 feet, runway 13, clear for immediate takeoff.